feels kind of like you're like it's like already like midnight and like right now like look at my screen, like how light. That's so crazy. Roman and I are worlds away, and that's pretty much what the idea is. Like I'm in Dubai and Roman's stuck in the poverty parts of the US of A.
Austria.
No, actually, yeah, Roman's just backdrop kind of looks like he's from Austria. But Roman, what's going on, buddy? How you doing today? How's everything going?
Doing good. We had a nice little workout of the day earlier.
Yeah, I was gonna. Yeah, I wanted to talk about that, Roman. What did we do today? Which was a little bit different than usual, and Roman and I got to work out with each other, which we usually don't get to, obviously being in a different state as well.
It was very different. Yeah, I haven't done like a WOD in a long time. So it was just like it was more like an intro or beginner WOD, I'd say. So one of our coworkers, Antoine and my coworkers, Alex, had reached out to us. Alex reached out to me today, and he was like, "Hey, yeah, what are you doing at 1:30?" And I was like, "It's usually my break, nothing." And like just eating lunch. He's like, "Oh, do you want to do like a workout with us? Like we're doing a virtual workout." I was like, "Oh, that's really cool. Yeah, let's do it." So he let us know about it. It was over Zoom. So he is a CrossFit Level 1 instructor now. Is that correct?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, nice. So he was leading a workout. So we pretty much did some mobility and warm-up drills, and then we got right into the WOD, which was no push-up burpees. So you just drop down to all fours into essentially like a high plank, and then you jump up, do a full stand, no need to jump, and then it was ladders. So you started at 3 burpees and then 3 sit-ups. And you would jump by 3s each time. So you do round of 3 burpees, 3 sit-ups, then a round of 6 burpees, 6 sit-ups, 9 burpees, 9 sit-ups. Yeah, all the way up. And it was a 7-minute WOD. So it was very, very quick, short and sweet. But yeah, I got a good sweat on in just 7 minutes. So I was pretty stoked about that.
Yeah, and if you guys looked at my channel before, I did do when I mentioned like that powerlifting meet, I did do the powerlifting meet at O'Hare CrossFit, long for OCF. So if you guys want to follow them on Instagram, I believe they have a YouTube channel. Follow Alex, follow Susie. Susie's the CEO / owner / operations, all that good stuff. So I've been there plenty of times. We try to get Roman out there, and he firm, gentlemanly, like as a gentleman, declined, saying, "Sorry guys, I'm too fit for you. I'd rather not show you up. Like as much as we're good friends and all, I'd rather kind of sit this one out before we don't become good friends anymore." Is that not true, Roman? Am I speaking from the heart right there?
It's pretty accurate.
Yeah, but no, yeah. If you want to check them out, if I recall, every first Saturday of the month. I think they've restarted it since COVID with like the rules and whatnot, and like the social distancing and whatnot. Whatever you guys feel comfortable with, they do a friends and family day every Saturday, first Saturday of every month. So if you want to check it out, I think they do 9 a.m. or 10 a.m. You might want to just follow their Facebook page or Instagram just to make sure. But that's what I used to do. I used to go there. As you know, I like Roman and I more powerlifting, bodybuilding. So CrossFit's not really our thing, but hey, it's working out, so we don't really care too much. Like today, like I have deadlifts after we're about to do this call. So my fat ass didn't want to do as much burpees and sit-ups. I think I got it to 15. What'd you get, to 24 or 21?
So I did 6 burpees in the 24, like the 24
wow.
ladder, yeah.
Yeah, so Roman was like pretty much like 2 stages ahead of me, and I'm like, dude, I was like, you know what, I got deadlifts today, and I'm reintroducing them back in my life, so I didn't want to, push it to the limit. I was just doing it for a cardio session, which I usually go for a walk, but it was nice for like Sam, because Sam did it with me as well, and I didn't have my video on. Yeah, I did it with Citrix, and you know how that is. But yeah, we did it for like a nice like little session for cardio before we're lifting. So I'm more focused on my deadlifts, not focused on my burpees. But it was a good workout, and it made me sweat. I had to open the window and turn on the fan behind me just to cool off because I felt so fat. I'm like, Sam, we got to open a window or something. I'm sweating crazy. But yeah, episode 59, guys. Roman and I are excited to kind of talk about it. I went through, I think over the weekend it was. I went over quite a bit of episodes and was like I said, we said in the last couple episodes about like kind of our goals within the next year. And so, I want to reflect and, make sure we're giving the good quality, content that we, try to give on our best every Friday or around that schedule loosely. But I did mention that, we want to go over and finish some podcasts. So we did an intro on powerlifting meets, and that was, I should have wrote down the episode. I think it was like episode 46, 47. I think it was back. Yeah. So this episode 59, we want to kind of get into like the nitty gritty. Roman, because I wrote down some notes. Do you mind if I just go through a quick summary of what we talked about? And then kind of go from there. Some of the topics I want to talk about, some of these topics too that Roman's probably going to want to talk about in a little bit more different detail, which is always nice. But to give you guys a refresh, because I want to get this going, because I know 6 minutes in, you guys hate the banter. I don't know. You guys can always fast forward to the actual message of the episode, as you would say. But pretty much in the last episode we did for the powerlifting meet, I guess you would say it was more geared towards like introductory / first timer / like maybe an info session for someone that does it already, and maybe they just needed a refresher / like maybe it was more information, maybe it's less information that they know. So I want to put it there first and say pretty much we talked about getting there on time, bringing equipment, where to go, bring some food, get weight on the board. If it's definitely your first powerlifting meet, try to go 9 for 9, meaning 3 for 3, which is all 3 good lifts on squat, bench, and deadlift, totaling 9 lifts. And then warming up with the people that have, they're around the same weight that you're lifting currently. So when you do the warm-ups, they're pretty much warming up about the same weight. So you don't have to go around tracking weights or lifting with someone that can obviously lift twice as much as you, and you don't want to warm up with that. So some of the topics, Roman, and then you could talk right after this, buddy. I don't want to talk too much, but some of the topics that like I jotted down. This is like loosely, obviously with time time and everything. And we have about 22 minutes right now, I guess, or actually 16 minutes. But I wanted to get we didn't talk about like too much about like, I know we probably talked about a little bit, but commands, what they are, what they do, what would you do with a command, what to do after the meet itself, which I know we talked about just a deload, but maybe get a little bit more details with like diet, nutrition / like working out. I know we went over just a general summarization. Planning for the next meets, if considerable, if you want to consider that. Was powerlifting something you liked? Because that's important as a human being to understand if you like or don't like something, because you obviously, unless you're crazy, then you just keep doing the same thing you don't like, then eventually go Christian Bale on someone, American Psycho. Sorry for that movie reference. What did you do wrong in the meet itself? What did you do right? So both reflections, you want to see what you did right, did wrong. I didn't have this down, but that brings me to another one. Recording your meet. Now, do you have someone that you asked to bring the record? Do you have a partner in your life currently that's going to come out and record? Is the meet going to be recorded? I.e., for example, YouTube. Maybe a web. I don't think they do WebExes, but YouTube, like maybe another channel source where they save the video, or is that going to be happening? Um, Different stances. Don't warm up / hit your lifts with different stances. Hydration. I don't know if we talked too much about that. And then weight loss for beginners or intermediates or a little bit past intermediates. So I know we kind of talked about beginners, but maybe we could talk more about intermediates and all that. Like, what's a good weight to lose? What are some weight loss tips? So Roman, that's a lot of topics. You can hit on any of them. Do you have any other topics you want to start off with either?
That was exhausting. I love it.
Dude, sorry. I feel like Roman right there. Is this how you feel on every episode? I was like, God damn, I feel like I prepared way too much on the list.
No, it's perfect. I'm just like I'm gonna like lie down and take a quick like cat nap.
Oh my gosh.
That's really good. Yeah, if you want to just like start diving into them, we'll go from there.
Yeah. So Roman, can you we'll kind of go over commands, and a lot of people may be familiar with that, maybe not. What is a command? What typically do you see? And then kind of give some tips for that.
Yeah, so command is essentially like depending on the movement, it's going to be to either initiate the movement, to like hold a pause if it's bench, for example, and then to like perform like the lift. The only like exception is probably like deadlift. Like they do give you like some sort of command to like.
I think it's just a down. I think it's a down one, right? Or is it up and down?
I think I think they give you a time like to like start the lift too, and then like you're usually timed. I want to say it's like 1 or 2 minutes like to complete the lift. So it's usually plenty of time that they give you. Like if somehow somebody's struggling more than like, I don't know, 15 seconds on a deadlift, like it's probably not going up. And like that is so long, but I've seen some like crazy grinders.
Yeah, and also too with like with the time is and correct me if I'm wrong, Roman, as long as you're not going the opposite way, they'll be able to let you grind it out still. Because like if a deadlift, if they see like the bar kind of dropping, they kind of consider it a no lift. Like maybe you should drop it and then like maybe just recollect yourself for the next set.
It depends on like how official it is. I think if it's like an official powerlifting meet, usually they call that like hitching. I don't think they allow hitching because that's exactly it. Like people will like try to take advantage of some momentum, so they're like bringing it up and the bar like starts to like come back on them, so they try to like whip it back up. It's not usually like very successful. Some strongmen will do it. It's allowable in strongmen, I believe, but I don't think in powerlifting.
Yeah. And then with the squat, did you go over the squat?
No, I did not. So with the squat, typically you unrack the weight. You have to essentially demonstrate to the judge that you can hold the weight at the top and you're not just gonna like collapse. Then and it might be different per federation, but I believe you're given like a lift command where you like start the downward or the eccentric phase of the movement. This is also different. I've heard that like some coaches will just position themselves like kind of close so they can like slap their knee or table or something like that to give you some sort of like command to let you know when you've hit depth. But I don't believe the judges always like will let you know. So that's why it's like really important to make sure that you train like to that specific standard of, typically it's the hip crease being slightly below the knee, the top of the knee, or what's like usually deemed as like just slightly below parallel. And then you just finish the lift by the concentric phase, standing the weight up. You have to fully stand the weight up to have the lift count, and then you just walk the weight back and rack it. Unless you're in like a mono lift, then they'll just bring the bar holders back into place and you just rack the weight.
Sweet. Yeah. And that usually typically this might be kind of off topic, but for intro, like they'll usually have 3 spotters within like just like typically the squat, 1 behind you, 2 on the bar. So just in case, like if you think like if you go to a powerlifting meet and you're trying to hit a PR you're not going to be like back in the gym where you might not have like accurate spotters that can actually lift the weight. No, there'll be definitely people that can actually like if you want to hit like a 50-pound PR and you're like feeling it, but all of a sudden you just bomb it where it just drops, you're totally fine. You probably won't get any injuries unless you're like, Mark Bell and you squat 1,000 pounds and your knee just like slightly hits a different angle. But I doubt a lot of people are going to hit that weight because that's like Mark Bell or I forgot what's his name. Well, yeah, him. And then the one guy that's like sponsored by SBD. I met him in person. Very, very cool guy, young guy.
Optimus Prime?
Yeah. I forgot his name. Ray? Is it Ray Williams?
Ray Williams. There you go.
Yeah. Unless you're like Ray Williams, I've met him in person. Dude's a
That's really cool.
beast.
I bet he's massive. Yeah.
Yeah.
His back is like.
Yeah, Sam and I took a picture next to him. I look like a little child, and I'm like 6'2", like 200 pounds. So when you look like a child next to someone like that, that's like you got to be pretty damn big.
His speed is so impressive, like coming out of like 1,000-pound deadlift. Like
yeah,
the way he moves that weight up, it's just like, how are you moving that? Like it looks like an air squat.
he reminds me of like a Ronnie Coleman of powerlifting, even though Ronnie Coleman did do powerlifting in like power building. Yeah. Like if you follow his Instagram, he's like very like country boy, southern, like his food, like Ronnie Coleman, him and Ronnie would be like they just look like they would eat the same foods, like but like he's a little bit more to himself, I feel like. I mean, he's probably out there, you just don't know because he doesn't really show his like, I don't know. Maybe he does. Maybe I don't follow him enough, but like I know pretty much like he just shows like lifting of him doing lifts. It's not like the part where he's getting his back slapped and he's yelling, "Yeah, buddy," not like that, but interesting. So another thing too, Roman, like planning for the next one. I think before we could talk about that, like I don't know if you wanted to add anything to that, but before planning for the next one. What would you say, like, were some hints, like, for some people, like, I mean, it might be kind of easy to answer this, but was powerlifting something you'd like? Like, what's, like, some questions you can ask yourself or questions that you can kind of run through your head before even planning for a next one? Like, would you suggest any? Because I know you want to do your first one still. Like, are there some things that you're going to have to, like, look at and, like, reflect on before you do another one, if you're going to do another one?
Yeah, I'd probably want to see if I enjoyed the experience, or like if for whatever reason I didn't like it, then I just wouldn't do it again, or I'd just give it some time. So you'd want to ask, like, if you enjoyed the experience, you'd want to ask like how the training was. Did you enjoy that type of training? Because you probably should have some sort of like a squat, bench, deadlift like day, like designated specifically towards those three movements, because you're going to be doing them all at once. So why not have at least one day a week where you hit each of those lifts so that you're hyper specific for what you're going to do on the meet day? So you want to ask, like, how's the training for that? Like, you want to ask, is it getting in the way of any other fitness goals, or is that like, you want to like put that like at the top of the list? You want to ask, is it like compromising your health in any way? Because for some people, like when they get to like the upper echelons of like that kind of a sport, like they are sacrificing their health in some instances. It's not so that they can be strong and like healthful and like walk around and do this kind of thing. Like Jim Wendler, like towards the end of his career, his back was so messed up that he'd have to be like lying down in the back of his like Escalade or Yukon that his wife was like driving him to meets. And he would like essentially lie down at the meets until people said like, all right, Jim, you're up. He'd get up and he would like squat like 800 pounds. And then he would like walk back over and he'd lie down because he was always in just like so much pain. So for him, like he was doing it because like that was how he was essentially like making money, and how he had like set his identity and like all these different things. So there's a lot of questions that like that follow. I think like it pretty much comes down to like, is it enjoyable? Like, do you want to do it again?
Yeah, and really quickly, like my experience, like 'cause since I did the 2 bodybuilding shows and the 1 powerlifting meet, so both overall, like like I get like I don't know how it's gonna feel for anyone else, but like for both of them, dude, I was like eked up for both. Like bodybuilding, like obviously, like I felt a lot more shitty. Like that's just gonna be straight up, like because you're just like so lean and like you're just like so prepped up for it. But I would say out of the two, I'd say powerlifting was probably more fun because the fact that because you're just in so shit shape, I felt like I met a lot of good bodybuilding friends that I networked with at the meets or the shows, I should say. But see, the thing is, like, I felt like a lot of people were like really unhappy. It felt like what Roman was saying about Mark Ripito, like a lot of people like relied on this, and I mean, a lot of them maybe they did rely on it, but I don't know how they made a lot of money from it because like I feel like those shows don't make you a lot of money unless you're like sponsored or an affiliated athlete. But like like a lot of the bodybuilders, like I tried to like they would just like not talk to me, say anything. Some of them were really open, but most of them were just like kind of kept to themselves, and that's bodybuilding. It's a one-man show. So is powerlifting. But like when we went to the powerlifting meet, like everyone was just like so positive. They were just cheering for you. When you failed, they would just like they'd be like, dude, hell yeah. Like they wouldn't even say like, dude, you suck. Like you failed like 315 on a squat. Like no, it was like hell yeah, dude. Like you got that. Like man, you were so close. Like something like that. So overall, I think powerlifting is a little bit more. I'd say juiced up as like a better like avenue of like a fitness competition, but I love both of them. I couldn't say no to any of them. So, um,
I
maybe we can
know.
get
I
what?
know bodybuilding. Did you watch the Olympia this weekend at all?
No, I didn't because it was during the
Interesting.
day. It was
Yeah.
during the day. I don't. I'm like I don't know. It was kind of weird. They barely promoted it. I felt like.
Yeah.
Um. Oh, but congrats to Big Romney.
I know. I'm so stoked for him. He looked phenomenal.
You know what? I've seen the past like 5 years of him just like losing. I'm so proud of him. Don't know the guy personally.
Yeah.
He could be a bad or a good guy. I don't know. But he's huge. Um, and kind of sad that Phil Heath came back and lost though, because like I honestly I love Phil Heath. So
Yeah.
he's a very confident guy. Brandon Curry looked really good. William
Brandon
Bonnick
Curry looked really good.
William Bonnick always looks good. I mean, Brandon Curry won last year, so
Yeah. Hadi
um,
Chupin looked really good too.
I don't know who that is.
He's he's been like so close. He's like always like in that like 5-6 spot, like the past couple years, I think.
Was Michael Lockett even in there? I know we talked about him like
Um,
last episode.
I think so. I
He's
think
from
so.
Ohio, so I don't know if you heard anything about Ohio, like Cleveland. That's yeah.
Yeah, I think he was.
He always
And
plays like top 10, like high top 10.
yeah, heck yeah. Um, I was really surprised. Do you know Sean Clarita?
Maybe.
He's in the 212s, so it's like a newer division. He's only like 176 pounds.
You said the 212s are a newer division? But
Yeah.
yeah, it's not that new. It's been like out for like 10 years.
No, I think they said this was the third year of it, third or fourth year.
No, Flex Lewis, buddy. Flex Lewis
Really?
won like 7 in a row or
Oh,
8 in
okay.
a row.
Maybe I misheard
Is
something.
Flex Lewis not in there?
I don't think so.
Oh,
Maybe. Yeah.
Maddie probably talked him out.
I didn't, to be honest with you, I did not pay too much attention of the 212s.
You didn't like that joke? His future sister-in-law.
I don't know who that is.
You know her. She's Bonnie and her, Maddie. Like remember her? They were friends. She's dating Luke, Flex Lewis's brother.
No.
Sorry, Roman doesn't follow on social media that much.
Sorry,
Flex
but
Lewis, you know who Flex Lewis is, right?
yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. I showed you a picture. I showed a picture of Roman before. I met him. I met Flex Lewis at the Arnold. His I'd say his forearm was bigger than my like quad almost. So for proportions, guys. Maybe I'll put that as like the picture for this episode. Just getting out angled by flex. He was in a regular t-shirt too. Didn't even have like his bicep showing. That's how sad it was. Yeah. Did you want me to finish this off, or do you want to answer? Yeah. Okay. Cool, guys. Well, like I said before, we want to come at you from a different mindset as before. We've got a lot of good ideas moving forward, guys. But as always, we're all on audio, all video platforms. Check out Sam, my wife's profile too. She is a nutrition coach, has a PN1 certification. So if you guys need any nutrition plans, if you need any fitness related questions, ask Roman and I. DM us, message us on Instagram, follow Roman and I on Instagram. We have Gainz Podcast as the Instagram handle. On YouTube, Antoine, Coletta, and Roman Long. Follow both of us on there. And then as always, we'll see you guys on that next one. Peace.